In fact, here we go again. Hold on to your wallet. No matter how often it fails, politicians of the left just love socialism. They love thinking they can do business better than a businessman. Today, the Prime Minister made a big speech saying he couldn't leave it to business. From now on, his government is going to do the investing and lots of it.
In this time of transformative opportunity, our government will not be an observer or a spectator. We will be a participant, a partner, an investor, an enabler. We need to act and invest at scale.
A guy that's never run a business in his life, and I think he's worked in one, reckons that he and his government can pick a winner. And he's going to pass a mega law called the Future Made in Australia Act to do it. Well, it's actually, this act is about saving Anthony Albanese's net zero plans now that we're running desperately short of electricity. Because by sheer coincidence, Albanese says the business winners that he'll be backing are mostly in green energy.
Now, here in Australia, we have massive advantages under the ground with our resources, but also in the sky with our solar resources. That will enable us to develop a green hydrogen industry, for example, that can then be used to drive green metals manufacturing in areas like aluminium.
Now, there's an obvious problem with the government thinking it knows a business winner and it will back it, and you just saw it with Albanese. It's because they have trouble separating the politics from the business. Now, I first noticed this as a young reporter when the Hawke government decided it would save the Kodak factory. It gave it $36 million, big money back then, to keep it going. Now, Kodak was making film for cameras and was threatened by cheaper stuff from overseas. Now, that actually was because it was heavily unionised, so much feather bedding there. And with 18 unions in that one plant, there was no way a union-dominated Labor government was going to let Kodak fail. So Kodak got our money and then died. Not just because it was inefficient, but because digital cameras had also just been invented. No Kodak camera film needed. Well, look at the billions of dollars our government's also threw at the Australian car industry. Where's that car industry now? Again, that wasn't business. That was just saving union jobs. And now we've got Labor governments investing in almost anything that says green on the side of the box. Again, it's not about business at all. It's the ideology. Plus, of course, wooing young voters who've got mad green visions. In fact, the previous Productivity Commission chairman last year, Michael Brennan, warned the Albanese government against trying to pick winners like this. The government was back then already saying it would invest in batteries, just when every man and his dog was doing the same. But the government didn't listen then, and it isn't listening now. 2 weeks ago, exactly the same story. Climate Change Minister Chris Bowen and Anthony Albanese announced they'd spend another $1 billion to get businesses here to make our own solar panels, not that China stuff. Just when the world, and particularly China, already makes twice as many solar panels than the world can use. How many other green schemes have now hit the wall after getting tens of millions of dollars of government help? Because governments know best. There was the tidal wave generator in Broome, the geothermal power plant in Inaminka that went bust, the wave generators that sank in South Australia or hit the rocks in New South Wales, the Snowy 2.0 pumped hydro scheme that Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull swore would cost us just $2 billion and now looks like costing 10 times that. And here we go again. Lessons not learned. You heard the Prime Minister just a second ago say, well, is going to invest in green hydrogen, for instance, which uses massive amounts of renewable energy to get hydrogen from water and use it as a clean fuel. It's untested at scale, hasn't been proven. It's highly explosive fuel, extremely expensive. But still, billionaire Andrew Forrest has been spruiking this miracle fuel like mad. And a couple of years ago, Forrest even said he'd get up a green hydrogen project in Queensland, Gibson Island.
Queensland leads Australia where Queensland leads the world in really exciting, sustainable green industries.
Oh, the Queensland politicians behind him going, yes, 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 but another flop. Forrest seems to have given up on that idea, saying it's just the plant's in the wrong spot. The list of government-backed business failures is endless. And again, it's exactly the same problem. You can't make good business decisions when you're a politician guided more by politics than any business sense, let alone any business experience. Now, if the Prime Minister really wants to build more stuff here, and it's a great idea, the answer is quite simple. You just get out of the way. You cut taxes, you cut costs, you cut power prices, you cut red tape, you cut green tape. You just make it much easier than it is now to do business, and you let people with real business experience get at it. Make their own decisions, risking their own money, which always concentrates the mind. Just get out of the way of the new Steve Jobs or the Mark Zuckerbergs or the Gina Reinhardts, the new generation. Trust the market and not this socialism.